8th degree among normal individuals, and elevated ATG angle has been reported in individuals with Down syndrome, Klinefelter syndrome, and trisomy 18. Then we have simple transverse palmar crease, which is formed by fusion of two palmar crease. It is found in half of the people with Down syndrome and 10% of the general population. 10% of the population have one palmar crease on one hand, and 5% have one palmar crease on both hands. Males are twice as likely as males to have this, and it tends to run in family. Then we have what we call the digit ratio, which is the ratio of the length of different fingers from the midpoint of the bottom crease. Bottom crease is where the fingers join the palm. Now, it is measured by dividing the length of the index finger by the length of the ring finger, and the longer index finger will result in a ratio greater than 1, while a longer ring finger will result in a ratio less than 1, and it is sexually dimorphic. It's sexually dimorphic. Then we can talk about anthropometry without talking about gait analysis. It's a systematic study of human locomotion using the eye and the brain of observers. The processes and equipment include several cameras placed around the walkway or treadmill. Now, the individual walks down the treadmill, and the computer calculates the trajectory of each marker in 3 dimensions. So many markers are placed on different parts of the body. Now, these are parameters that are assessed, and in turn, these factors, exclusive factors and intrusive factors, can affect these parameters. Now, we can talk about gait analysis without talking about gait cycle, which begins when the heel of one foot touches the ground and ends when the same foot, after having executed one step, is set down. Now, each cycle consists of 2 phases. We have a double phase where the 2 legs are on the floor. Then we have the single support phase, and one of the legs are on the floor. Then the step is the distance between the toe and heel, between the toe and heel of 2 subsequent prints of different foot, while the stride is the distance between the heel or toe of 2 subsequent footprints of the same foot. We have the speed, which is the relation between the distance of 2 feet and some of the contact time. The contact time, this is the contact time, this is the flight time, then this is the length between the 2 feet. Then we have acceleration, which is the relation between the speed delta of 2 steps and the sum of contact time. It's like V2 minus V1, V2, which is L1 minus L2. Then we have the stride angle. Here, the stride height is also calculated. Then applied anthropometry. Well, anthropometry has a lot of application to the extent that I have to have an outline for it. Now, encephalometry it's used in dentistry. Encephalometry is used in dentistry. It's used mostly in orthodontics to gauge the size and spatial relationship of the teeth and jaws. And obstetrics, like I said, can be used to determine the age of a baby, gestational age. Then dermatoglyphics. Left-handers have more radial and ulnar loop, tented and simple and double loop, and decreased central pocket when compared to the right-handers. But the worst part of it is that they have a potentially higher risk of developing schizophrenia. Then in dentistry, increased wounds correlate to dental caries, while number of wounds decrease the person's susceptibility to caries. And in case of left lip and palate, there is high increase of arthritis. Then biometrics. So we talk about biometrics. Some people think it's about comprinting, but it's more than that. Metrics relate to human characteristics using computer science as a form of identification and access control. Now, the first one is facial recognition system. Here, the algorithm identifies facial features by extracting landmarks, like position of the cheek, nose, and the rest of them. Then it compares it with the picture and landmark it has in the database. But the disadvantage is that the person will have to face the scanner for it to identify. That's where we have an upgrade here, which is the 3D facial recognition system. Uses 3D sensors, captures information about the shape of the face. It doesn't matter if the person is facing the scanner. It is used mostly in airports and crowded environment, whereby all it needs is the shape of the hair. Then we have skin texture analysis, which turns unique lines and patterns and spots apparent in a person's skin into mathematical space. And tests have shown that with addition of skin texture analysis to facial recognition system, recognizing faces can increase to 20 to 25%. But it has an advantage, which is, I call it a big smile advantage. If you don't want to be recognized, all you have to do is fake a smile, and it won't recognize the person. Then we have iris recognition, which uses video camera technology to acquire image of detailed, rich, intricate structure of the iris. But retinal scanning is an ocular-based biometric technology that uses unique patterns on a person's retinal blood vessels. You know, retina is made up of complex network of blood vessels, and when a scanner shoots an invisible infrared into the eyeball, the blood vessels reflect less light than other structures in the retina. So it means that the amount of reflection can also be unique. And talking about retinal scanning, in fact, it boosts an error rate of 1/10 million, while comprinting boosts an error rate of 1 in 500 individuals. Then vein matching is a technique in which light is transmitted through the finger and partially absorbed by hemoglobin in the vein. Now, it's not as effective as retinal scanning, but in 2007, the CIA and the FBI used the recording of the beheading of Daniel Pink, the American journalist, to match the veins on the visible areas of the Al-Qaeda terrorists. Then we have keystroke dynamics, which is based on science of type range recognition that identify how a user type. Then the technology extracts distinctive characteristics like the way, seek time, which is the time it takes for an individual to look for a key and be pressed, and the whole time. Then right-handed people may be statistically faster in getting to keys than they are with the left fingers. Then we have the gait analysis, which are used to address patients' specific needs. Also used to source for perfect running shoes. Then, it can also be used in forensic. When you see somebody coming from afar, you say, no, I know this is not so person because they don't work like this. Then we have signature recognition, which is the last one. In the bank, previously, what we do is when you go to the bank to open an account, you sign, and the account officer scan the signature, and whenever you want to come and withdraw money, they will compare it. But now, in the BVN, before you get your BVN, you have to sign on the pad. And the information gotten from that pad are this: pressure, inclination, pen up, and pen down. So anthropology has a lot of advantage, a lot of uses that I cannot really exhaust here. So, but the purpose of anthropology is to make the world safe for human differences, and to be an anthropologist, we need to study physical anthropology.